Now, I haven't really made it a secret that I have a really strong connection for old internet cartoons. Growing up in the early 2010s, I was exposed to some of the most memorable and entertaining cartoons at that time. Of course, there's TV animation, where I mainly watched shows on Cartoon Network like Gumball, Regular Show, Adventure Time, and Chowder. But when there was nothing to watch on TV, I would take out the family laptop or my old Nokia brick phone and watch some old YouTube animations. The early 2010s is what I would like to call the golden age of internet cartoons. Sure, you did have the Newgrounds era in the early 2000s, and while those animations are definitely memorable, you can kinda see the age in them with the dogshit audio and messy animation. But the 2010s is when animation on YouTube became somewhat refined, and we were given some amazing series like Ed's World, Astuff Movie, Dick Figures, The Noob Adventures, and Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, even though that technically isn't animation, but shut up, I love the series.
Nightmare!
Now, trying to pick a series or channel that I love the most is a bit tricky since, despite how cringe it sounds, I love them all. But there is one channel that defined my early childhood, a channel that produced some of the most memorable and hilarious animations on YouTube. And yes, I'm of course talking about SmashBits animations. If you've never heard of this channel before, then the best way I can describe them is, imagine if you get a load of popular video games from the 2010s, SFM and Adobe Flash, a lot of money, and a British guy, and you put them all into a blender, mix them all up together, and you get SmashBits. Back in the day, they were mainly known for their parodies of popular video games like Sonic, Minecraft, Pokemon, Zelda, Smash Bros, Hello Neighbor, and Undertale. And me being a weirdo who loved video games and YouTube animation, this channel was kind of perfect for me. I would watch them almost every day and kind of became addicted to them for a while. Even in 2020 during lockdown, I would still watch them since I got genuine entertainment from these strange yet entertaining animations. But I was a young child back then, and while I was busy traveling around Europe like a big adult man, I got reminded of this channel and decided to go check up on them. They seem to basically be dead now, with their last upload being an Overwatch animation that was uploaded 9 months ago. But this did get me thinking, why don't I make a video on SmashBits? No one online seems to talk about this forgotten channel. The only video that I've seen on SmashBits was from Chazington, who made a really great video going over the channel and all their different animations. Now in my video, I plan on going through their early animations and eventually make my way to some of their most popular animations. I won't be going over every single animation they've made since that would just take forever. Plus they seem to have removed a lot of their older videos and I can't find re-uploads of them. But I'm just going to be going over the main animations they made and see if they are still worth watching to this day. Now talking about the early days of SmashBits is a bit tricky since, like I said earlier, a lot of their older videos have been removed. But the oldest video on their channel that I could find was If Punch-Out Had Lyrics, which is a perfectly fine video. Like, it's got good animation and the song itself is okay, I guess. I never really got into video game fan music videos, but this is a decent song and it's alright. Then right after Punch-Out, they made a Sonic and Shadow animation. Now, I just want to make it clear that I am not a big Sonic fan, like, at all. I mean, I had a small, tiny phase in 2020 when I really liked Sonic, but we don't talk about that phase. Honestly, this animation is just meh. The jokes are fine, but nothing really hilarious, and the animation itself is kinda weak, but to be fair, this is a full 25-minute fan animation, which is very long. But yeah, this animation is just fine really. They made a second part to this where the animation is in 3D for some reason, and while the animation is pretty good, something about it just looks weird to me. That whole SFM, Gary's Mod style of animation was all over the place back in the 2010s. And I'm still kinda traumatized on this animation, so let's move on. After the Sonic animation, they made a few more videos on Doom, League of Legends, and No Man's Sky, and they were all pretty good. The style in these videos were definitely inconsistent. Like in every new video, the style of animation would change, but this is probably because they had multiple different animators working for them at the time. But soon, SmashBits will gift us one of their greatest series of all time, and that series was Minecraft Story Mode. Now, I did already discuss this series back in my old Minecraft animations video from like January, but I don't care how many times I'll discuss this series, I will talk about it till the end of time. In all seriousness, I won't be diving too deep into this series, but I do want to talk about it because this series is how I discovered SmashBits. To give some context, I was a really big Minecraft fan back in 2016, and during this time, Telltale Games released Minecraft Story Mode, and at the time, I genuinely liked those games, but looking back, they're fine. They are strange games with dodgy graphics and some cringy dialogue, but for what they are, they're good enough. Just a story mode version of Minecraft. And now they're apparently turning this into a movie with Jason Momoa, or maybe they're not because they're supposed to start filming in August, but the strikes have been happening, so I think it's safe to say the film is dead. But fuck all of that, this is Minecraft story mode. These animations were my shit growing up. I thought they were some of the funniest videos on the internet back then. And how do they hold up now? Yeah, they're pretty good. Okay, they are a tad bit outdated in the sense that the humor isn't offensive per se, but it's just kind of stupid humor mixed with a lot of self-aware jokes. Normally I can't stand when cartoons have meta jokes since it always feels like they're trying to excuse the bad writing, but it kind of works with this series since Minecraft Story Mode isn't really a good game, so the fourth wall jokes are more so the characters commenting on how stupid the situations are. Even aside the self-aware humor, the other jokes in this series almost always land perfectly, and that is thanks in part to the legend himself, Dexter Manning. Now you probably don't know his name, but you almost certainly know his voice. He mainly took off thanks to his old Machinima series, Sanity Not Included, and eventually started working for SmashBits, where he did a lot of the writing, directing, and voice acting. You may also know him from Looper, maybe? Who knows? In all seriousness, Dexter Manning is an insanely talented dude, and every time he works on a SmashBits animation, you know you're in for a treat. He's also a game developer and has made some really awesome games that I might talk about in the future. Anyway, enough of the funny British voice actor, back to Minecraft. What I really find funny is how Dexter plays the main character Jesse as this sarcastic asshole who is completely done with everything. It works very well given how stupid and brain dead all the other characters around him are like. It gives off this feeling that he's the straight man in this world of insanity. Even the side characters can be hilarious with how much they exaggerate their stupidity. Now you may think all these annoying characters would be, well, annoying or irritating, but no, it works very well since they all have funny lines and the actors are really giving it their all. Jokes like Petra having AIDS, Ivor looking like Squidward, or Axel being fat never once feel annoying or overplayed. I think my favorite episode has to be the YouTuber murder mystery one, since the way they make fun of the YouTubers and their terrible voice acting is just so funny. Even the visual humor can be very entertaining. Sure, the animation isn't going to be winning any Oscars anytime soon, but for what it is, it's decent enough. There can be some really funny expressions and movements with the characters that really help elevate the humor. Sure, the backgrounds can be a tad bit lazy, but that kind of adds to the charm of the series. The animation usually keeps its good quality throughout the series, but for some reason the animation in episode 11 takes a bit of a downgrade. I don't want to shit on the animators since they probably didn't have enough time with this episode, but the animation quality picks up in the final 2 episodes, so it's not totally bad. The series is able to make fun of Minecraft story mode, but also be very entertaining and a lot of fun to watch. You don't even need to be a fan of Minecraft story mode to understand what's going on. You can follow it perfectly and still be entertained. I would highly recommend you guys check it out. But we're not done here. There was another series made by SmashBits that I absolutely adored growing up. A series that defied my dumb 15-year-old mind. And this series was... If Smash Bros is realistic, yeah! I promise that I'll talk about Undertale later, just please give me some time. Now you may be wondering why this 2-episode series means a lot to me, and honestly I have no idea why. I would say it's because I'm a big Smash Bros fan, which I am. Like, Subspace Emissary was my shit back in the day. But I think it mainly has to do with the fact that SmashBits had the balls to produce 2 half-hour-long animations parodying Smash Bros. If you put these 2 animations together, then it's basically a feature film. It does bring up a question though, how could SmashBits afford to produce something this big? Well, I did a bit of cheeky research on SmashBits, and the guy behind the channel and the CEO, Rick Jones, is a very mysterious fella. From what I can tell, he seems to have been a first lieutenant in the army for a few years, then after that he created SmashBits. I don't really know how you go from army lieutenant to making video game animations on YouTube, but good for you, Rick. Still doesn't really explain where they got all the money for this, but I'm guessing sponsors like Quid and Raid Shadow Legends pay very well. But back to Smash Bros, the whole style of these animations is something I really dig. You can tell it's a bit limited, but I've always had a soft spot for those old 16-bit animations. Plus, they're not afraid to go ambitious with some camera movements and 3D sets. Some of the action scenes as well can be genuinely intense and very entertaining to watch. Hell, even the story is kind of interesting. It does have a lot of dumb jokes, which is kind of expected with SmashBits, but the way they translated Smash Bros into this big story was very well done, I must say. The first episode has some genuinely interesting twists with some of the characters that honestly surprised me a lot. It follows Link trying to climb his way up the ranks to become a champion. but someone is trying to take him down, and the way they slowly revealed who's behind everything was very well done. And once again, the humor is surprisingly great here. It's very fast paced with some clever dialogue. Of course, we got good old Dexter Manning back for these animations, and I just love how he voiced Link and many other characters here. He always brings this sarcastic, mean-spirited performance to every character he plays, and I really like it. Like in the first episode, Link has this milk problem, and that shouldn't be funny, but for whatever reason, it's fucking hilarious. And in the second episode, they keep sponsoring Quid, like not just once, but they do it like 5 times, and I have no idea why, but it's fucking hilarious. Even in the second episode, I weirdly enjoyed the banter between Link and Snake. They both bounce off each other very well, and the humor was very entertaining. And like I said, the storyline is very interesting. It's not just a dumb parody with silly jokes, but they know not to take themselves too seriously, since at the end of the day, they know it's a dumb parody of Smash Bros. And what more could you want, honestly? I guess it would have been cool seeing some Mario characters in the series, but I'm guessing Mr. Miyamoto would not allow it. But Link is fine. But now we're ready to talk about SmashBits' most popular animation, easily their magnum opus into the world. And this animation is Hello Neighbor.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, so I know it's gonna sound strange, but their Hello Neighbor animation is, weirdly enough, their highest viewed video. Which is very weird, but then again, the YouTube algorithm is very weird, so nothing surprises me at this point. They tried so damn hard to capture what made this animation so popular, but sadly to no avail. This animation is weird because unlike Minecraft Story Mode or Smash Bros, I don't really have a nostalgic connection with Hello Neighbor. And like most people, I don't really like the game. Like, I really do not like Hello Neighbor. Even Dexter Manning, who once again made this animation, doesn't like the game.
Hello Neighbor is actually a game that I don't really like very much.
But around 2016 to 2017, Hello Neighbor was massive. Why? I genuinely have no idea why. I guess the gameplay mechanics were kind of interesting, but besides that, it's pretty shit. But this animation is the complete opposite of the game. It's actually good. They don't really make fun of the game like with what they did in Minecraft Story Mode, but they more so play around with the concept of the game. And they add this Groundhog Day spin on it, which I think works very well with the story. The jokes as well are also very good. They have a running gag that the neighbor looks like a pedo version of Buzz Lightyear, which, yeah, is very true. And it has this hilarious payoff where it's revealed that the neighbor is obsessed with Toy Story. Like, that's just genius writing there. Dexter also does every single voice here, which isn't an issue really. Apparently he took like 4 shots at gym before recording all this, which I gotta give massive props to. I'm like a tad bit drunk as I record this since I just came back from the pub, so I respect the efforts. They also have DA Games' song Hello Neighbor, which automatically makes it a 10 out of 10. Man, video game fan songs just aren't the same anymore. Like this Hello Neighbor song and that one Undertale song called Down to the Bone were really good back in the day. You know what? Those Undertale models look very familiar, don't they? The animation as well is just really good. Again, it isn't anything fantastic, but the timing is good and there are some really good facial expressions with the characters. There's not much else to say about this animation, honestly. I just wanted to talk about it because it's their most popular animation and I got a good bit of enjoyment from it. Okay, I can't keep putting this off. It's time I finally talk about if Undertale was realistic.
The old whoopee cushion in my hands trick! Oh, never mind, that was just me. I shot myself!
If Undertale is realistic, it's such a strange series, yet I absolutely love it so much, and I don't know why. This was my favorite thing to watch on YouTube for a while. Like, I would watch it religiously and quote a lot of the lines. Like, who doesn't remember, "Am I right, lads, or am I right, lads?" Or even that one rap song like, "You talk big, but your words are all shallow." Guys, I think I may be autistic. Now, I just want to say that I have no nostalgic connection to Undertale whatsoever. Like, I knew of its existence and all the funny, hilarious memes, but I never had a connection to it. While I was watching this series, I decided to download the game on my Switch and see what all the hype was about. And I stopped playing the game after 20 minutes and I haven't touched it since. I don't know, the game just wasn't for me, and plus I was playing it after its hype, so it's just not really for me. I will say it does have pretty interesting gameplay mechanics where you can go throughout the entire game and not kill anyone, so that's pretty cool. But around that time I was too busy with FNAF, GTA, and just being a loser really. But for some weird reason, I just loved this series despite never playing the game. I know every single character's name because of this series. There are probably a shit ton of references to the game that I will never understand, but I don't care, because all I care about is how funny the series is. Now, to give you all a rundown, the series is kinda similar to Minecraft Story Mode, where the main character Frisk, once again played by good old Dexter Manning, is a sarcastic asshole while everyone else around him are idiots. There's about 17 episodes in this entire series, and they're split into different parts. You got the first few episodes that are normal enough, and then the pacifist episodes where Frisk can't kill anyone, and Genocide where we see Frisk just slowly become more and more insane. We meet so many characters that basically help carry the series. The story and plot is more important when you compare it to the previous animations, but what carries this series are the characters. Each and every character has their own unique personality, and by that I mean they're either all idiots or retarded. Like I said, I know next to nothing about Undertale, yet I was able to follow the story very well. They throw so many jokes at the viewers and they never feel annoying in any way. And the voice acting here is genuinely fantastic. Like, every voice actor is putting so much effort into voicing these weird characters. Of course, you have Dexter Manning playing Frisk, or the genderless child as they're referred to. And Dexter does his best performance here, honestly. He gives Frisk this sarcastic and almost psychotic performance, yet it works so well. He also voices Papyrus, who I thought was going to be annoying at first, but the way they handled his character was very clever, where they just made everyone else hate him. He also had some really funny lines that got quite a few laughs out of me. Like, he's such a weirdo and a freak, but it's just so funny.
I remember your TV show as a child! I used to masturbate over it! What?
But the biggest performance here has got to be DA Games playing motherfucking Sans. People are always going on about the perfect casting choice in film and TV, like Pedro Pascal as Joel or Chris Pratt as Mario.
It's a me.
But no one ever mentions DA Games as Sans. I don't know why, but Will is putting all of his energy into voicing Sans from fucking Undertale. Whenever I look at an image of Sans, I immediately think of that distinct Birmingham accent.
I'm proud of you, mate. You didn't kill anything or anyone. So up ahead, you're gonna get the good ending. And the good ending is sick, because the credits last like half an hour.
Sans is honestly my favorite character in this series. The way he talks and interacts with other characters is very entertaining. Hell, I loved him so much that I even dressed up as Sans for Halloween in 2020. But we're not seeing that. And like I said, I love all the characters here. We get introduced to small side characters who have very little screen time, yet they are super enjoyable. Like, there's this Lego character called the Lad who out of nowhere becomes the child's best friend. Then he gets taken hostage by Flowey so the child can go back into the underground. And then by the final episode, he's revealed to be a god and has this epic battle with the child. Like, this is all so insane, yet it's brilliant. A minor issue with this series is that the pacing is a tiny bit rushed. Like, we get introduced to the lad out of nowhere and his relationship with the child is very rushed. And episodes go by super fast with multiple plotlines going on. A good example is just how quickly the child turns into a murderous psychopath near the end. It would have been cool to see him slowly become more and more insane early on in the series. But in the end of the day, it's a fucking web series based on Undertale. We're not expecting Breaking Bad levels of writing and character development, are we? But I think it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, that elephant being the animation. Now, just by looking at it, you can tell that this series was animated in 3D, more specifically animated in SFM. I said this earlier, but SFM has this very distinct style with it. Animators are fairly limited when it comes to having exaggerated expressions or movements, but there's always a charm to old SFM animation because it's fairly impressive seeing 3D animation on YouTube. And the animation in this series is not bad per se, but it definitely isn't good. Dexter Manning actually said that he really doesn't like this series due to how much he hates the animation.
The animation, especially for the genocide route, it is so fucking bad. This isn't a secret, and I fucking hate the animation.
Now, to me, I don't really mind the animation. As a matter of fact, it's kind of charming. There are certain points where the animation looks really good, and points where the animation isn't very good. My main gripe is just how inconsistent the animation can be. Like, character models can change at various points, the movements can be super stilted, and it can just look a bit lazy. But at the same time, the animation can look really good, so this inconsistency can be kind of jarring. But like I said earlier, this is a web series based on Undertale, plus the weird SFM animation kind of has a charm to it. Plus, all that really matters to me is the humor and characters, and those aspects are what carries the show for me. I can look past the dodgy animation and appreciate the clever humor and hilarious characters. And if you want to see more of this kind of humor, both Dexter and DA Games made an animation channel called Bantermation that kind of follows the same formula as SmashBits. They even made another small episode of Undertale where they acknowledged how dead the series is. I wish they continued to make more of these animations, but they seem to have moved on to other ventures. Yo, just editing and I don't really know how to transition to the next segment. I haven't really planned this out, so look how shit my haircut is. Now as I conclude this weirdly long video, I want to say that SmashBits may not have been the greatest animation channel on YouTube, but you can't deny just how entertaining they were. These animations bring me back to a much simpler time in life, where I can just turn on an animation and be entertained for hours. Like I said earlier, their last video was uploaded back in November of last year, and the video itself was fine, I guess. There were some funny jokes here and there, but the animation was pretty bad, honestly. It seems like SmashBits is dead in the ground, which is really unfortunate because they genuinely gave me so many laughs over the years. But it's not all bad. Dexter Manning made a tweet saying SmashBits might return with him at the helm, so maybe there is some hope after all. Either way, I'll always remember SmashBits for making some of the most memorable animations on YouTube. Anyway, thank you all for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video, bye.